We are back at Van Winden's with Aileen, one of the managers, and we are talking about something that I know nothing about, and that is potatoes.
Potatoes.
So I come in the spring, early spring, and I see these big boxes of potatoes, and they are for growing potatoes.
Yeah, this is called a potato seed.
Okay.
Most people don't plant a seed for a potato. This is a seed potato.
Okay.
So you would plant this in the ground. You would point this up because this is green growth.
Okay.
A lot of people think these are roots, but these are actually stems, and they plant it upside down.
Yeah.
That'll work, but the poor plant's going to have to figure it out and work harder. So do it a favor and plant it up.
So would I have to cut that at all, or I can just plant it just like that?
So a bigger potato like this, you could get 2 seed potatoes out of.
Okay.
This one is already about the size of an egg. That's about as small as you want to go for a traditional potato like this. You could cut this into, I think, 2, I would advise. You can see all these points here. These are all eyes. If you do cut it in 2, you want to make sure you have at least 1 eye on each side, which on this potato would not be a problem at all because look at all those eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after you cut it, you'd want it to kind of have some air and callus over.
Okay.
If you put it straight in the ground, it might start to rot. Not ideal. You want it to callus over and dry out.
Okay, so talk to me about selection, right?
All right.
So there's a whole bunch of different boxes here, a whole bunch of different kinds.
Yes.
What's special about these?
Oh my gosh. So potatoes are not just potatoes. A lot of people, buy a potato in the grocery store and they bake it up and they think potatoes are fine.
It's a potato.
Why would I grow potatoes?
Right.
It's so boring. But no.
You're saying exactly what I have in my mind. So thank you.
Some potatoes are going to have a smooth texture. That's just very valued for things like a potato salad or maybe frying. Other potatoes are going to have a fluffy texture, maybe better for like a baked potato. And then it gets even more fun of what time of the plant growth you pick the potato. Because if you pick a potato early, when the flowers just start blooming on the potato plant, what you're getting is called a new potato.
Okay.
It has extra thin skin, and the sugars in the potato have not converted to starches yet.
Okay.
So it's a whole different product.
All right.
You can't buy new potatoes in the grocery store, even though potatoes are marketed that way.
I was going to say, aren't they?
You see them all the time, but that's not actually a true new potato.
Really?
True new potatoes are a very fancy thing that you have to harvest with human hands.
No.
There's no machine that can do it.
Okay, I want to try a new potato. I don't think I've ever tasted
If
a
you're
new
into
potato.
food, if you're a foodie at all, grow your own potatoes.
Interesting.
Because I grew up loving potatoes. I'm Irish. I come by honestly. But growing your own potatoes, it's a whole different level.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my
delicious.
Goodness.
The other thing I should mention that's really important is that most of these potatoes are what we call modern varieties.
Okay.
A lot of people hear that when you plant a potato, you should keep hilling up soil on top to get more potatoes to grow.
Okay.
That's only true for heirloom varieties.
Oh.
Of which we have exactly 1. This is a red Lesota, your classic red potato. This one you can keep hilling up more and more.
All right.
And you'll get more potatoes because of it.
So as you plant this in the ground, you're going to cover it with soil, and then as it grows, you keep putting more soil on top of it.
So here's a potato grow bag, which let me use this one as an example. Here's a potato grow bag, and if you were planting red Lesotas, you might kind of fold over the sides to make it a shallow bag in the beginning.
Yeah.
Fill it with maybe 6 inches of soil. In this size grow bag, you'd plant about 3, maybe 2 potatoes in it.
Okay.
And then as it starts to send up new growth, you would fold up the sides and put more soil on top.
And that's going to give you a bigger crop?
That'll give you a bigger crop.
At least for the red Lesota.
For heirloom potatoes.
Okay. Now what about the new potatoes?
So
or
new
modern
potatoes, modern potatoes. Here's a good example here, Nobilis. You can see it's got its new growth. It's ready to get going.
Oh boy. Yes,
so this one you'd plant about 5 inches below the top of the soil.
Okay.
And it's going to grow potatoes down into it.
Got it.
Which is why you'd want nice fluffy potting soil, not thick, heavy clay soils.
So it doesn't matter how much you put on top of it.
You can keep mounding it up, and to a certain point that might help, but at some point you're actually stressing the poor plant out because it's going to keep stretching for the sun and being like, I just got to the top, why are you making me grow more?
Okay.
It's not going to give you more potatoes for it.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And then, so would you buy certain potatoes based on what dishes you want to cook? Is that how
Absolutely, yeah. If you like frying potatoes, there's options for you. If you like baking potatoes, there's options for you. If you like a denser texture. We even have a potato, this one here, that, if you are diabetic or you're watching your blood sugar, this is a low glycemic potato.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea there was such thing.
Pretty fun.
Oh, how interesting. Now, I know when I grow, like say I grow strawberries at home, my strawberries are so much better than the store strawberries. Is that kind of the same thing for potatoes too?
It's like to a whole nother level.
Are you serious?
Strawberries are so fun. Even a bad strawberry is pretty good, right?
Absolutely.
A bad potato, like a normal potato, it's okay, but I'm not at all kidding when I say growing your own potatoes.
You feel very
they
passionate about
taste
potatoes.
so much better. They really, really do.
That's exciting. All right. So then do I hook it up to drip? Do I water it every so often? Do I fertilize it? What are the growing tips that you have?
Okay, so definitely I would recommend putting them in a bag. You can put them in beds, but they might kind of run away from you over the years. And you'll have potatoes popping up in random places.
Oh, okay.
I would do a fertilizer that's higher in potassium and phosphorus.
Okay.
If you give them a lot of nitrogen, you're going to get green growth, but not roots, which potatoes are roots.
Okay.
So you could give it a balanced fertilizer or something that's a little bit higher on the second numbers in the NPK order.
The middle and the last numbers.
Middle and last.
Okay.
Potassium and phosphorus.
How often, like, are these heavy feeders? Should I fertilize them often?
They're not the heaviest feeders. It kind of depends actually on the type of fertilizer you're using. The back of the package will guide you.
Got it. And then when is harvest time? Like, this is obviously planting time because we can see the seed potatoes out here. When is harvest time for potatoes here in Napa?
Well, in Napa, we sell seed potatoes this time of year, but actually you can plant them year round.
Oh!
Yeah, we're really lucky. They don't like frost, which we don't get a lot of frost. In the middle of summer, they might die back, but then they'll just kind of keep growing.
Okay.
But as far as when you can harvest, as soon as the plant starts putting on flowers, you can start harvesting, and that's called new potatoes.
Okay.
If you harvest at the end of the season when the foliage has died back, that's your maximum potato harvest, and that's going to be a different product, and that's what you most commonly see when you're buying potatoes is that end of the season potato.
Okay. So say I was going to plant like one of these, right? And I just planted this potato. How many potatoes would I get out of this on average?
Depends on the size of container and the fertilizer you use and the sun that it's getting.
So say I did everything perfect. What would I get?
Oh, you could get 30 potatoes.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. But I've made the mistake of putting a potato like that in a 5-gallon container because that was what was easy in my garden. And I think I probably put 5 potatoes in that 5-gallon. And I think I put in 5 potatoes and I think I probably got 7 or 8 potatoes.
Oh.
You know?
So you
There
crowded
just wasn't enough resources for that plant to turn into new potatoes.
Interesting. So putting
bigger-
less than you think in is probably going to give you more.
In my experience, it's less than people are thinking they're going to put in. Yeah.
Very interesting. All right. So just kind of as a recap, you guys sell mainly modern potatoes, but you do sell one of the older, what do you call it? Heirloom varieties?
There's an heirloom variety, yeah.
Okay. And then they like the heirloom variety is like clay soil. Is that what you said?
No, none of them really love the clay soil. Heirloom varieties like to be mounded up,
Okay.
buried deeper and deeper as they're growing. Heirloom varieties don't really appreciate that very much.
Okay.
They just want to be planted at the top of a container and to grow their potatoes down.
Okay. And then you recommend growing your potatoes in bags like this.
Yeah, this or like a big 20-gallon container. This one's pretty fun because it has a little window in case you wanted to steal some potatoes without taking your whole plant out.
You can just reach
so
in
you
there?
can sneak potatoes
That's
throughout the season.
So funny. Oh, that's incredible.
There's a picture actually of that in action.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very nice. And then the other thing you said was fertilizing with phosphorus and potassium, right? The P and K at the end of the 3. So, but honestly, you can just come into Van Winden's, find anyone that has the blue, the blue shirt on, and ask them a question, and they can help you. Well, Aileen, thank you so much. This is exciting. It wasn't even on my radar growing potatoes, but now I
Hope you try it.
I kind of want to try it. Thanks so much.
You got it.